Hey guys, so today I want to talk about a track record that I found on 𝐷ARWINx, which is one of the number one, I think it is in fact the number one trader on 𝐷ARWINx, who's managing $16.2 million at this point. And I want to pretty much bring in some realism and help you understand this track record and help you maybe ground your expectations a little bit in terms of trading and in terms of what to expect. So we see that this guy has a return of 821%. Now, first things first, there's a couple of things that we don't know. We don't know how much this guy is risking per trade, so we don't know the exact RR that he's making. It could be 100, it could be 500, it could be 1,000. We don't know. We only know his percentage-wise return. But first things first, let's dive into that equity curve real quick. So we see an equity curve here. And one thing that I always find really interesting when discussing equity curve is looking at the date. So a lot of people don't understand that in the long run, you're going to have longer periods, prolonged periods of being in drawdown, being in a losing streak, etc. So what we see here, if we look at just a random year from this guy, let's take a look at 2020, which was, let's see, around 1, 2, 3, 4 losing months. So in 2020, sorry, that was 2019 actually. In 2019, this guy had 4 losing months but still managed to make at least 22%. Once again, we don't know how much RR he made, probably a lot more. But let's say, for example, he managed to make 40 to 50 RR. That's phenomenal. That's really good. Unless you believe some of the stuff they sell you on YouTube where they're, promising 1,000 R returns. But this is really good. However, if you do actually go into, let's see, 2019, and you look at his real equity curve and you see up there where it says the date, you see from, let's take a look, from 26/4/2019, which will be the 26th of April 2019, all the way until, what is that, 25th of September 2019, he does not exceed his previous high. Even longer, actually, it's October. So all the way until October, he does not pretty much come above his old highest balance. So it just shows you that even the best traders on 𝐷ARWINx, even the best traders in the world, really, have prolonged periods of drawdown, have prolonged periods of being or not exceeding their previous high. And it was funny, even in 2020, where he just hit his all-time high on his portfolio, he goes into a massive streak of not exceeding that. So from 15/7/2020 all the way until, what is that, 11 or 28/7/2021, so that's a whole year, pretty much a whole year before he exceeds his previous highest balance. Now, at the end of the day, everyone will look at this equity curve and be like, damn, that's a really good equity curve. I wish I had an equity curve like that. It looks phenomenal, looks great. So everyone's like, all right, this is something that I would love to have. But then you see prolonged periods like this, where in a whole year, you're not making any profit really, or you are making profit, but you're not exceeding your previous highest balance. And I would guarantee you that 99% of the people who would be in this situation would have given up. The majority of traders would have given up here. And I can tell you, I can pretty much guarantee you that even just like a slight period of something like this, the majority of traders would have changed their strategy, would have changed their approach, would have looked into what was going wrong, quote unquote. So there's so many things that traders don't understand about trading being a long-term game. Now, you can look at this and you can be like, would you like to have an 821% return within 10 years? And I can guarantee you, everyone's like, fuck yeah, dude, that's awesome. Those are phenomenal returns. But looking at it and zooming in, you can tell that there's prolonged periods of drawdown. Now, I can tell you there's 591 investors who are investing in this guy, which is 591 more than most of the people who are watching this, who are trading in general. And this guy with almost 600 investors has periods of drawdown, yet people still keep investing in him. And that's because people don't understand that trading is not making money every month. Trading is not getting 10, 20, 30 R every month. It's pretty much beating the S&P if you can. And in doing so, minimizing your max drawdown. This guy has a very, very low max drawdown, which is, to be honest, which is insane. This is really good. The max drawdown only being 15%. That's phenomenal. However, this guy still has close to 600 investors. I want people to understand, just like, this is the reality of trading. Like, that's what it's like. So taking a look at a little bit more of his track record, you can see that in the majority, I actually did some counting On average, this guy has around 4 to 5 losing months in a year and 1 or 2 break-even months. Taking a look at, for example, let's say 2020 in this case. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losing months, and let's count these two as a break-even month because they're only, well, they are pretty much break-even. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losing months, 1, 2 break-even months, bringing you to a total of 7 months in which you are not making consistent profit. So that's crazy. 7 months out of the 12 months in a year, there's really not any money being made. The year after that, 2021, 1, 2, 3, 4 losing months with, well, let's call that a break-even month, around 5 months in which there's no money being made. So leaving you with only 7 months to make up for it. And it's like running, I think I mentioned this before, it's like running an ice cream store or an ice cream shop. During the summer, during heat waves, you're gonna sell out quickly and you're gonna have insane months like making 7.8% here, or maybe even 13 or 12% in 2 months, or 25% in 2 months, and then followed by maybe December, or let's say the winter period is coming, and boom, you're not going to sell out of your ice cream stock at all because no one's interested in buying a popsicle when it's -10 outside, or when it's -5 degrees outside. So that's just what I mean by it being like more of a long-term game. It's an up and down period, and being able to understand that, being able to actually accept that and embrace that is ultimately what's going to lead to you being profitable. But let's be honest, the majority of people, they panic once they have this. Once they have February, March, and April, here they might feel okay-ish because they're like, I made a little bit of money, but then boom, 2 months and you're not making any money, and then May comes around and you might be making a little bit of money, but you're still not satisfied, and boom, you switch strategies. If you even keep up that long, because I can guarantee you right now, the majority of traders, they quit after even getting close to something like that. So, and this just goes to show, this is one track record. There's a lot more on 𝐷𝐷𝐿 that you can take a look at. Let's take a look at, for example, this guy. This is the number 2 trader, actually. See what he got. Beautiful equity curve. Looks really nice. But first thing I see, 18/7/2019, which is the 18th of July 2019, all the way until, oh shit, that's actually a really long period as well. All the way until February 2020, he does not exceed his previous balance. And here as well, on average, people just got 3 or 4, maybe 5 losing months. You've only got around 6, 7, or sometimes in a good year, 8 months to really make all of your profit. And the rest of that is just break even or negative. This guy, for example, had a pretty decent start. First quarter was pretty decent, but then he finished the last quarter of the year, pretty much the last 5 months of the year, getting loss after loss after loss. And still, this guy has 550 investors, almost $13 million under management, and he's got a period of 4 losing months. And for some reason, people still think that with some shitty ICT course or whatever, you can exceed these investors and make more money. It's just not true. This is the reality of trading. There's no such thing as winning every month or winning every week or winning every day for that matter. So it just goes to show. I figured I'd just talk about this for a little bit and hopefully give you guys a little bit of a perspective shift, or at least reaffirm that this is the real way of trading. Thanks, guys.